Being called a faggot as a kid almost destroyed me. Let's talk about it.
Loving me unconditionally.
Hello, my freedom walkers, and welcome to day six of the challenge of my 30-day challenge of loving me unconditionally, starting this new YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk about the pain of being called a faggot as a kid, right? I remember growing up in church, and I was really, really good at singing, led songs on the youth choir or whatever the case may be. And I was pretty musically inclined, and I wanted to play a music instrument. I wanted to play the organ, right? They're like, you can make all this money. It just fascinated me the way that Hammond, boy, the way you could just turn knobs and that horn would just spin around and you could just make all these sounds and all these beautiful emotional moments, right? And it was like you usher in the presence of God. And I wanted to play this instrument. I started taking lessons. My grandma would take me to these lessons, and I was getting pretty decent at it. I was learning the basics, of the keys, of the chords. And I remember one day just shooting the breeze, talking crap with me and my brother. He's a couple of years younger than me, and I never ever felt like that I was ever good as him, because people would talk about how good he looked, what happened to me. He's cool, he's masculine. He doesn't know it, but they talked about it a lot. Family would say it, friends, well, not friends, but people at school would say it. Heck, people in church would say it. I know pastors that would say it. I'm telling you. But on this day, I felt proud of myself. We were outside playing, and he was like, oh man, I'm doing this in football. Whatever it was he was doing, it was sports related, right? I said, well, I'm playing the organ and I can make a lot of money. And out of the blue, my stepdad steps in and says, you ain't nothing but a faggot. Ain't nothing but faggots play organs. Look at you, looking like a faggot. I was like, whoa. And he's a black man. It really just, like, my soul just dropped. My countenance dropped. It's kind of like I tucked my tail in and just walked away. It hurt so bad. I can't describe the amount of hurt. I was finally proud of something, but now I'm finding out that it's not even good enough. It was harsh. It's kind of like the emotions. I could feel some of the emotions now. It set me up for hating myself even more. Because I wasn't thinking that playing the organ, because I saw like other people playing the organ was something. Being a black male, it was like, now you just being a faggot. And that crushed me. He never knew it, but then I started distancing myself from him. I distanced myself from the world. I distanced myself from, this is another black man who's saying I'm not good enough. This is another person that's close to me that's saying I'm not as good as my brother. And it ripped my soul, my innermost being, to shreds. I never told anybody. This is my first time ever sharing this. So guess what? I quit the lessons. I didn't want to be called a faggot. I didn't want to be out of place. I didn't want to be this this lone wolf, this black man who is gay and the whole world looks down on, or the black community looks down on. And this played over and over and over in my head till I started having nightmares and dreams. Yeah, this was traumatic for me. I would go to sleep and I would hear people like say, "Ha ha, look at that faggot." I would have dreams like playing instruments or up singing, like, look at that faggot. So even when I get up and sing, I was like, man, what's the most masculine way to hold this mic? What's the most masculine way to clap my hands? What's the most, I better not play the tambourine, because the tambourine was considered, you play the tambourine, you're a faggot or you're gay, right? In the black community. Or they call you a tambourine player. Say you sweet, a little sweet stuff or whatever. Oh man, I better not do my hand like, oh man, I better make sure my hands stay like this all the time. It made me feel inferior around other masculine black men. I dimmed myself or made myself smaller in their presence. But females, they didn't care. I kind of was like just myself a little bit more. We laughed and joked, but around guys, I need to be talking about working on cars and football and basketball. I couldn't talk about like being an archaeologist or none of that stuff. I always felt like I wasn't good enough. I didn't fit in, that I was out of place because I didn't think and act a certain way at all times. So it caused me to actually not have a good relationship with black male figures in my life because every one of them felt like they wanted something from me, to be a certain way or act a certain way in order to please them, or in order for them to accept me for who I really am. So I spent most of my life just being somebody else. But on the inside, I knew that I was gay. I told myself many, many times that I wasn't, but I really, really knew that I was. And one thing I realized is that words have so much power. You have to be careful, careful, careful with the words that you say to yourself and to other people. They have so much power. They can make you or break you. They can make a person or break a person. The fight of my life has been other people's opinions. Not physical fights, not fist fights, but other people's opinions mattered so much in my life because I felt like I wasn't enough until whatever they thought, that's what I did. Just being a people pleaser. But I'm learning even more. I've healed a lot from that. I've come a mighty long way from all of that. One thing I do, I take the power out of the word faggot. I take the power from that. And it makes other people mad if you hear somebody like, oh, he's a faggot, right? I'm like, thank you. I appreciate it. And I would even do something like, thank you. It makes them piss. It pisses them off, right? And the reason I smile is because I was like, man, I remember the times when that really bothered me. I remember the times when that hurt me so deeply. I remember the times whenever that word alone just made me cringe and it hurt me to my core. But now it has made me stronger in where I am right now in my life. So there are certain things that don't bother me anymore because I've learned how to replace it with gratitude. Not that I'm just big, bad, strong guru of a person. It's because I've learned gratitude. It's like, man, I remember the first time I was told that word. Now remember what happened. But it doesn't have that same power over me now. And it's okay. It's okay to smile. It's okay to love. It's okay to embrace being gay. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate you reminding me that I'm gay. Tell me something I don't know, right? Uh, you ever seen The Color Purple? The original one with Whoopi Goldberg. I remember the scene toward the end. Celie, she was getting in the car and she was leaving to go off, right? She was getting away from Mister. And she was in the back of the car. She did a hand thing like this. And everybody knows this, right? And she was like, I can't remember the whole thing, but I remember this part. Eyes may be ugly, but I'm here. I'm here. I may be gay, but I'm here. I may have had traumatic experiences in my life, but I am here. I may cry sometimes still, but I am here. I may have gone through some struggles and some difficulties in my life, but I am here. Right now, in this present moment, I am still here. I should be dead. I wanted to commit suicide so many freaking times. I sat on the couch for 6 months in this state of depression. But right now, I am here. In this moment, in this time, I am here. So like she said, I may be ugly, but I'm here. And I'm telling you what, I'm going to love myself unconditionally. If I don't do it, who else will? Repeat after me. Let's take a breath. That was a lot. That was a lot. This is a hard topic. I'm not going to lie. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. You say, I am strong. I am courageous because I am still here. Nothing can take away my inner love for myself. Nothing can take away my inner peace. And nothing can take away my joy. I love me for being me. I love myself unconditionally. I don't care what other people call me. It's what I call myself. You may call me weak. I call me strong. Right? You may call me a has-been. I'll call myself a becoming, or I'm becoming. You may call me lame, but I'll call myself interesting. I'm loving me unconditionally. And let's keep going on this journey. Today was day 6. Like, subscribe. I'm going to be doing this journey for a long time now. Love yourself unconditionally. You deserve love. You deserve peace. You deserve hope. There's nothing wrong with being gay. There's nothing wrong with living your truth. Love yourself unconditionally. This is J Love. Peace.
Loving me unconditionally. Loving me unconditionally. Through the fire, through the storm, I found the truth inside of me. Loving me unconditionally. Loving me unconditionally. No more shame, no more fear. I'm exactly who I'm meant to be.